Game captures on the wrong mode. Dungeon the Endless. There we go. Hey everyone, welcome back to Dungeon the Endless. I am just loading up right now, and I'm also going to turn down my headset a little bit. There we go. So, as a reminder, we are on floor 21 in a drill pod, which means that we're going for the achievement for the 24 floors. And we'll just get started right away. At this point, I looked into some guides to get some suggestions on where exactly to take this. So we have all of our heroes at level 15, which is phenomenal, and actually kind of pretty damn cool for me. Oh, excuse me. Huh. Wow. Anyways, so what they had ended up suggesting was simply that once you get to about this stage of the game, I'm just going to refresh here to make sure. Good, the stream quality is excellent. What does this do? Heroes take a little bit of damage, but monsters take more. Anyways, I'm sorry. The strategy is suggested that at this point, if your heroes should be level 15, so they all are. They had pointed out that there wasn't really as much need in terms of the 3 basic resources. I've researched every single module in the game all the way up to level 4. So at this point, once things become available, we want to put down a tactical HUD, at least one of those, and probably 1 or 2 land modules. And this room is actually a pretty good, excellent choke point if it comes to that. I am building industry because I want to be able to spam a bit and not dip into my supplies too heavily. So I'm also going to throw down a tactical HUD here. Okay. So another free room leads to a land module. And surely won't be able to keep it up 3 in a row. Nope. So we already have a situation where we kind of have to defend this one particular point. However, we do mostly have to defend that room. So I'm also going to throw down a science creator, and the reason for that is during the Band for Life, during the most recent stream that I had done, Band for Life reminded me that I can restore ability cooldown using science. So science does have a function now, and since the waves are starting to get more intense, I want to be able to reset because we can really harvest dust that way in a very low impact way, I guess would be the best way to put it. However, since I only need 2 dust to get this room underway, I'm just going to put down tear gas here and hope that'll be sufficient. And then for this room, I'm going to put down Neurostun and tear gas and have that be that. Neurogas will at least slow, or Neurostun, I should say, will at least slow down anything trying to come through that room. Okay. Now, unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to move Sarah from there to here, because part of my issue is, yes, of course I can power up that particular room, however, I do need to be able to power up the next iteration, next wing, as well, so that we don't have a space directly next to our crystal that's spawning monsters. So now that that's in place, get back here and help out Sarah a bit. That wasn't too bad. Excuse me a moment. Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, so I guess I'll keep going. There's 4 in this room, so put down a Neurostun module. I'm trying to remember how I was doing this. A-kip cannon, because those things can kind of blast like one of the more powerful monsters. I think I kind of want to do 2 Sublasters, because they'll cover the entire room. And, we are getting real lucky with these auto-powered rooms. Incidentally, because we are so close to accomplishing the achievement for this game, or for this run, essentially, what I really want to do is find the exit and get the hell out of here. So, excuse me if any of these levels are particularly brief. Okay, another power suit. Isn't somebody wearing a power suit? Or am I... Yes. So that increases his defense. It would actually lower it. I think what I want to do is power that up, move Gork and Nanor to this room, and then that way they're closer so that if I need someone to come here, I can just rush them over to this space to support Tro. Now, there are red crystalline creatures. I feel like there was something that I was using that got those crystals that attack minor modules. I think it might even have been this. Fortunately, smoking guns are rather cheap to build, and once I finish off this area, it's going to take me a while to get to a point where I can light this one up. I do love the smoking gun. I guess I shall continue forward. Actually, you know what? I'm realizing what I should do is, even for a small room, use Neurostun so that it gives the smoking guns more time to do their job. Tear gas, slow module. I was probably using tear gas because I don't know. See, the thing is, I don't. Oh shit. You two need to come here immediately. And then I think I'm going to do cooking with gas. That was surprising, but it wasn't too bad. I think I only need 2 more dust at this point, so I think what I'm going to do is throw down a shop here, because once I have one in place, as soon as I find a merchant, he'll be teleported there, and then Dina can go and operate that building. And I think I will place Gork right here to use this space as a backup. So the Sublasters are gonna do continuous damage to him, or not continuous, but periodic damage to him anyways. So there's no sense in having him take additional damage from that room. Man, have we got food. I don't think I've needed to use it though. Maybe I should count my blessings. How are you doing, Band for Life? The exit? Right. Alright, well, Gork can go here. Nanor can go here, I guess. And Sarah's gonna run the crystal. Might as well have Tro help him out. I'll kneecap everyone. defense. Alright, everybody's ready. Not bad. Good. Good, good, good. Glad to hear it. I'm doing pretty well myself. I've had a mildly stressful week, lots of ups and downs with a variety of things. And then this weekend I have a party that I'm going to be hosting, and I have an event that I'm taking people to tomorrow. And I just have a lot on my plate. So fortunately, last night we ended the group that I played Dungeons and Dragons with happened to cancel. So because they canceled, I was able to do an extraordinary amount of cleaning. And with all that cleaning out of the way, let's have you stay here, and then you three. Anyways, I got an extraordinary amount of cleaning out of the way, so with that spring level, or spring cleaning level of out of the way, I feel a lot happier about the apartment. Because I was feeling bad. Every time I let the apartment go for like 6 months, I feel pretty bad about it. I will leave them here. Move on with Tro. Moving along at a nice slow pace. Sure. I'm just gonna move him here. There we go. Save myself a teeny bit of time. Shit. The entire arm did not provide a single bit of power. Dust, I should say. So, it is going to be extraordinarily rough in this next room. Yep, no dust. I don't even know what the monsters are on this floor yet. So, if I throw down a whole bunch of smoking guns here and those red crystal creatures come along, everything in this entire room could be destroyed. And there's no way to know. Neurostun. Tear gas. Kip cannon. And I'll throw down a claymore mine and hope that's sufficient. And then I don't even know what to do about this space. I mean, I think the only thing that I can do is place Nanor in this room so nothing spawns and then move forward. And clearly the exit has to be this way. Like, there's literally no place else it can be. Alright, I'm gonna move Nanor forward since they're occupying. You know, with everybody... Oh. How do I want to handle this? Let's do cooking with gas, and then we'll move him back to this room. And once he gets here, aggro and do that. Wow. So this is gonna be a hard floor. This is why I bank all those resources, I suppose. Okay, well at least I have the power to set this space up. I don't know what to do for defense though. The room is relatively small, so smoking gun has less of a chance to work. I could use Tesla modules, as I think they hit a little bit harder. And prisoner pods are useless at this point in the game, so blasters, again, are much better in larger rooms. That's why I need emergency generator. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay. Well, I can power up at least that room and create an extra layer. So we'll do Neurostun module, tear gas. We have 2 slots left. I could either go for Autodoc shards, which I don't think will heal sufficiently, or I can go for bioorganic transference, which I think is the better option. But then the question is what to do for damage. It's every 2.5 seconds. It's the most damage we can deal, so I guess it's our best option. Let's restore his abilities and his I still need... Oh, actually, and there's 4 slots here. I could do a second emergency generator. Power this space up. Now, considering the fact they cost 90, I don't really want to build too many more of those things. But for now, this helps us extend out a little bit. So tear gas. I'll mix it up a little bit. Okay, so I think we are largely set. My primary concern, though, is this space is not going to have a lot of defense, but he needs somebody backing him up. It may be worth our while to use Sarah here instead of on the industry generator, because she'll provide placebo and she can increase the chance of dust dropping, and then I can move Nanor here to back up Tro. I think that's the best way to do this. Oh, and it's also very important to build a land module right there. Bonus food. So we've really dipped into our industry this time around, and I wish we were operating that. I'm gonna try not to build anything for the rest of the floor, but I have a feeling that's just not gonna work. That worked out surprisingly well. Still gonna have to run Nanor up here. So I still think the fastest way for us to do this is to just go in a straight line. I feel like opening up side panels is gonna, and then going forward is gonna leave us too exposed. Fire pick, whatever. I'm gonna power this space up, so then there's 1, 2, 3 rooms here, 1, 2, 3 rooms here. pull Tro back. I think I might put a viral injector here, just one. Then the two of them can work on this room. And let's do that and that. Thank God they didn't destroy the emergency generator. It looks like it didn't need to activate her skill for health regeneration. I'm getting a little jumpy about all of these waves. I keep thinking they're going to be like horrendous. You know, every single one of them is potentially the last one that I'm going to face. So I'm willing to throw like any number of resources at them, and that's just not the way to play this. Maybe it is. I don't know. What if I'm right? What a horrifying thought. I really hate to... Well, maybe if I just count my resources. So, for such a large room, the Neurostun module is very important. And I think I'll go for the two Subblasters, because they will do the most to soften up these incredibly large waves. Yeah, and stuff is already spawning, so I'm going to run up here. And these red crystalline monsters are not doing any damage to the minor modules, so that's important. Oh, fuck, I forgot to repair that shit. Let's do cooking with gas. This is looking much more effective. And then I can send Tro to here, and you to save all of that before it falls apart. Because that emergency generator looks like it's below half health. I do think that the ratchet noise for this is appropriate. It makes me happy for reasons I don't entirely understand. Must be my manly need to fix things. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking that I was right about this room with the Subblasters. So far, this hasn't been too bad. So far, this entire space is completely defended, probably by just Nanner. I probably don't even need Tro there helping him. So that means I think it's most important to extend out this way, really reduce down those waves. And if I can get one more lit up, then I may even just pull Sarah back and have her start working on operating the industry module again. Which is going to be pretty important. Alright, so you can get back to here. Okay, I'll give it a second. Sure enough. And similarly, the monsters that target him are running for him, so it is what it is. It looks like I may have missed him repairing that. I don't think it's going to break, but it's also one of the least expensive modules to replace. Ah, rhinos are cracking open those doors, producing additional waves. So, I'm going to do cooking with gas in an attempt to get more dust out of the situation. This may actually end up busting as a result. Look at that. Yeah, they're going to bust everything wide open. I thought I'd activated that. Ghost of Blaster. Okay, so that's going to be the last wave up there, which is perfect, as I can already move Sarah from there to here, and she should start operating very quickly because of the doors being knocked open. And then I can simply move Gork to this room, and everything will be fine. In fact, with so many doors opening, I can cook him with gas again. And interestingly enough, that still won't be every single room on the entire floor opened up, because there is no way that the rhinos are ever going to bust open those walls. Furthermore, I'm going to power up those... Actually, I should power up these two rooms for now. Create the beginnings of a brand new passageway to the exit. I am so glad that I spent all of this right here. Look at all that dust. No! Oh my god! That was 15 dust right there. Okay. So I am going to make sure I go up here and do the repairs, as Band for Life has so appropriately reminded me. This space, however, is completely repaired because he just, has been working on it the whole time. And I repaired this stuff because I want it to last a little bit longer. With those red Goliath crystals, but I don't even know what to call them. I wish these things had names so that I could at least feel like I knew what I was talking about or something. Anyways, they stop on major modules, and there's an emergency generator here, so I have a feeling that I'm going to go like that, and then here, oops, and here, and here, oops. Okay. I think that's about what I could manage. This will at least slow down everything coming through it, which may be a factor when it comes to monsters, just the ones that go for heroes. So I'm going to set Gork, Nanor, and Tro to this point, because I think Sarah can make it like past all that stuff. And I think I'm going to give her the Photon Decelerator, like so that she has a little bit of extra oomph, I guess. This is going a bit better than I expected. Thank goodness for those Neurostun modules. The funny thing about it is that this isn't even the most amount of dust that I've ever had. Power that up right there. And Nanor, why don't you open... Oh, he can't, because we'd have to defeat everything in the room. Alright, everybody's here. There. I've actually left people behind by accident before. Fortunately, now they make it green when it's safe to go, and the orange color when it's not. So everybody's in a room. But I've done it before, so I always pause, consider for a moment, make sure everybody's in, and then go. So that means I think we're now on floor 23. That was 2 floors right away. And we just flat out, that was a lucky floor. Everything that we had set up worked pretty well for what we were doing with it. So this means that if I complete this floor, that the drill is going to be done. So, auspicious moment. Let's get to it. Industry. We have so much food, there is no way that we would ever need to build another food replicator, so that's out of the question. We'll set up our tactical HUD. Okay. Shouldn't be any issues there. How many minor modules does this room have? Enough. Let's set up a Kip Cannon. Neurostun. Tear Gas. And we'll set up the bioorganic transference. It was working out well for Gork last time. I still think that I might be doing a little too much before I know if I can or can't power up these additional sections, or how far they go, because this could be a really short wing. And sadly, this does not connect around over to here. That really is irritating. As soon as I saw this, I thought it was going to connect, and I was like really thrilled. Okay, now at this stage, time to leave these two behind. For that very reason right there. We'll bring Tro back. That was a lot right off the bat. I'm glad that they're already fairly slow, because how do I explain this? So when the first crystal of that mob moves in, there's like a line, an invisible line that it's passing over. And as soon as it passes over that line, characters in the room can target it. And so it takes him about 2 seconds. Like when he crosses the line, it takes about 2 seconds for the next guy immediately behind him to cross the line. And in those 2 seconds, he's the only target in the room. So as a result, Gork and Nanor have the potential to just blow him away. And it's mostly Gork, because Nanor physically has to travel the distance between the two characters, get into melee range, and then hit him. So he's mostly in place for the second monster that crosses the gap, and then if things go the way I want it to and the Neurostun module works, then I will be able to kill them off one after another, rather than get overwhelmed by them. So that's a big advantage right there. So this is already the end, at least southwards, of spacesuit, whatever, of the heroes. You know, it's interesting. We did not see a single merchant in the last level. I don't remember having seen a merchant prior to that. Yet we're getting all of these items for characters. None of them are good weapons, or like green or blue weapons. So I guess the drops for the really rare stuff has not increased. I hate this one. Okay, well, at least there's a bonus here, which is that having Dina in this room by herself gives bonuses to these modules, but unfortunately, only one of those modules really seems to make much of a difference when it comes to shit. Well, time to cook with gas for sure. Go for that. Okay. Oh, I see the problem. You two can go handle it together. Frankly, if he destroys that crystal, I couldn't be happier. Oh, and he can't even deal damage to it. That's lame. You know, it's interesting, though. Not one of those creatures showed up on the last floor. They must really take the slot of a mobile monster. So how do I want to handle this? If I throw down 2 emergency generators up here, I can't... Even if I do have the dust for it. I do. But I couldn't just emergency generate this entire space, because these two spots don't have modules. And more importantly, with those massive Goliath creatures, they'll attack major modules, which means they'll attack the emergency generators. So I think what I want to do is flood these two rooms with emergency generators just to get them out of the way. And each one of these only operation increases the chance of loot probability. So what I'm going to do instead, Neurostun module here, and I'm still going to go for Subblaster. Its attack cooldown is 4, so if the red Goliath creatures are truly the only thing spawning here, it'll be fairly effective on them. I don't want to do Smoke and Gun because their hit points are too high. And the Kip Cannon could work. It would attack, not quite twice as fast, but, you know, faster. And it does have the power to just blast through those hit points. But I think overall, the Subblaster is going to be more effective because if their hit points are reduced to, say, half, and then they get to Gork, Gork will easily blow them away from half hit points. It's when he has to get them down from full that he truly has a problem. Now, I think I don't want to put an emergency generator here, but I really do want that dust to be applied towards any of these other additional doors. And I think that I don't have much of a choice. And that's not sufficient. And I'm starting to think that the exclusion of additional merchants is so they don't have any chances to generate dust by selling off all the items that I've kept. And I have to be honest, that was part of my strategy, holding on to items that I found that I felt would be worth the most dust or industry or science or whatever. I mean, mostly I just want dust at this point. I also have a feeling that as much as I need Dina on this room, she's probably going to have to move over to support Gork to some extent. I don't think he can do it alone. But for now, we're going to try to advance forward. Next opportunity that I get, though, meaning basically the next wave, perfect. I'm going to try cooking with gas, and the intent will be that by cooking with gas, we should be able to generate... Now, this is not good. Those suicide monsters, fortunately, are not doing enough damage. I thought they were going to do a lot more. That wave is not as big as I had expected it to be, so you two can come here and repair together. Now let's get this space set up. I think there's only 3, I thought there were 4. Neurostun, and say 2 Subblasters. So far the only thing that was different from any of the previous waves with those suicide bugs, they never seem to go for the crystal unless everything else is destroyed. So I think what I'll do is set up smoking guns here and Neurostun module. That way if they come in here and they're trying to get to him to blow him up when he's already under pressure, they'll be slowed and torn apart by these things. They're probably not going to have to do much work. They'll also give Sarah a measure of protection in case 5 or 6 of them come through at a time. And that should be sufficient. I'm comfortable leaving Nanor in this room by himself for now. Like I said, I'm mostly going to try to take advantage of the waves by cooking with gas as much as possible because of the increased dust probability. It looks like 3 different rooms down here are going to be spawning monsters. So right about here. There. Yeah, I don't think that worked out as well as I'd hoped it would. Oh well. Alright, well, next door that I have, the defense for our heroes is going to go back to normal. And that's going to be big relief. So as soon as we find the exit, we definitely want to take it. I mean, it's not like the drill pod run is gonna end on its own accord. It was interesting though when I was reading the activate it and get the hell out. When I was reading the various guides that I saw on this, part of what they had said, restore, and then I'll activate it in a second or so. Right about here. And then Tro can use kneecap. And you two can take on this guy. Because it should end up helping out Gork here. And this guy. Because they power up the other monsters. In what way, I'm not entirely certain, but the less powered up the enemy monsters are, the better. So, yeah, that worked out pretty well. Anyways, the guides have simply said that, like, if you get to floor 24, like, shortly thereafter, floor 25, floor 26, things start getting so intense, like, every single time a monster wave generates, that, you know, you don't generally end up surviving much beyond that. So I think I have kind of had it with this particular run, and am not particularly keen on testing, seeing how much further I can get. So, an entire another wing that is completely unpowered because there's nothing I can do about it. So, for now I'm going to have these two move over to here, knowing full well they're probably going to have to run back to here almost as soon as the door opens. This is a small boon, or would be if it worked. So, the only way a rhino's going to get there is either through here, which is not happening, or should not happen. Unless, of course, this shit does not work. Restore, restore that, and cooking with gas. There we go. Last thing I need is rhinos opening doors for me. Alright, so with those two finished with combat, we'll take on this guy, which will help out Gork. And then we might as well run here anyways, because we want to repair the space. I did look it up in the album. Boosts other monsters, take it down. It says right there. When it gets this big, start to worry. Now it boosts all the monsters on the floor, get it or someone else get it. It says right here, boosts other monsters. I don't think it destroys modules anymore. I think that it simply grows over time if it's not attended to. And considering the length of some waves, I think that's a fairly reasonable assumption. So with this room having absolutely no modules, that is mildly catastrophic. Mildly less catastrophic. There's 5 in this room. So we could do Neurostun gas, Neurostun module, Tear gas. There we go. And well, I still have space for 3 smoking guns, which is pretty powerful. It takes a little bit to get through some of the monsters though, and if the waves get big, won't do too much. So how about I think I have to go with the 3 blasters because they've just been working out so well for us. Now, yeah, that research is completely empty as it should be. I think think I'm going to go so far as to leave him here automatically, because there's only one room space between him and a horde of monsters. Yeah, and we repaired all that. So let's keep going. I was actually about to bet that that wouldn't do anything. So let's power up both of those spaces. If we can get this entire wing taken care of, we can compress down a little bit. And Tro. Nothing spawned in this wing, so you need to get here and help out. That is precisely how I had planned that to work. I'm so proud of myself. Alright, with those monsters taken down, and now we're in the appropriate space that we can just set all that up. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh! By the way, yeah, that proves it. That proves it. It just takes a certain amount of time, and then they simply grow, because he wasn't even attacking any of the modules in the room. Everything's still intact, and yet he grew into a much larger size while we were watching him, which is fascinating. I would be surprised if I see that again anytime soon. Second most aggressive bubblegum I've ever seen in my life. Huh, no spawns. Okay. I have an urge, basically, to open up these doors as well. And pretty much exclusively because... this might be a bit intense. Cooking with gas. And kneecap. I have a sneaking suspicion that there's nothing left to come through here. There might be one or two of the really slow monsters, but I think that's it. There we go. So now I can power that up, so I shouldn't have to come back to this wing anymore. There is no reason not to come help Core. As always, we're going to be repairing in here again anyways. So repair, 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 and move through here. What is the first one? I'm not sure what you're referring to. What is the first one? What is the first one? Huh. Oh shit, there is a rhino down that way. Crap? That's gonna cause some problems. Shit. Yeah, okay, so Dina, you're off of that. to oh, cooking with gas. And then I think I can, there, kneecap. Oh my god, what a relief. Now with so much energy, I'm going to power up those spaces, because if we continue generating dust, it will give us the advantage to not have things spawning there. I'm going to restore and start cooking with gas again. Now these doors still have alerts on them, which makes me nervous because I'm not certain where the rhinos are coming from. And if it weren't for the fact that there's already a bubblegum monster in that room, I would... Oh! The first one of the bubblegum monsters. I'm still not 100% sure how to answer that question. I think what you're asking is, what is the first stage? It is a really... I'm going to answer your question in a second. I want to kill this. Oh, well that's the 4th stage, right there. This is the 3rd stage. Okay, now that that's dead, I can set up an emergency generator in this room, which means that these two can now come all the way over to here for defense. And actually, before they do that, there's really no reason not to just take this guy out, because he's powering up all the other monsters. There. So now we can bring them up to here. So I'm guessing the rhinos are going to come through any second now. I guess they've already been killed. Huh. Alright, well I'm going to take these 3 heroes and have them take out bubblegums. So, here briefly, since things have kind of calmed down for the time being. So, this is where they start. They get to this point. This is stage 3, and stage 4 is where they're really taking up most of the room. This is stage 4. Fortunately, Dina provides placebo, so it's a little easier to keep everybody up on health. There we go. I'll let them explore that for a second and regenerate. She should be providing regeneration. Why isn't she providing regeneration? Is that only in powered rooms? Ah, yes it is. Okay, so I was mistaken. Good thing I checked into that. No, you said the monster is the second oh. Second toughest bubblegum monster. First toughest bubblegum monster was from, I think it was from Commander Keen. There was some peculiarity about shooting it in that game. And it was one of the very first 3, not any of the later stuff. I'm trying to recall the details. Maybe it was Cosmo's Cosmic Adventure. I remember it being an old Apogee game where there was some sort of monster that looked like it was made out of bubblegum, and actually had a similar tone to the monster in this. There we go. Really should have left everybody back there. It's actually quite impressive what these 4 heroes can do on their own. I kind of forget how tough they are. Alright, you 3. We're gonna sweep through and try to take these out quickly. Already on stage 3. Stage 3. I'm starting to think that they sometimes spawn on one of the on a stage other than 1, because their growth cycle seems rather quick. Or maybe it's just that the difficulty going up causes them to grow faster, who knows. Anyways, I remember it being an Apogee game, and there was something peculiar about attacking it, where it was a lot more difficult. It was really resilient, and stuff. I wish I could remember which one though. Alright, we'll send everybody back for the time being. Actually, I might send everybody over here. Oh wow. Nope, I guess they do definitely start on stage 1 and you just kind of have to... Oh, cooking with gas, there we go. Leonor, would you mind terribly taking care of that? Yeah, I thought so. Rhinos are kind of running rampant through this thing. He was all the way down there. Blam. So now we can repair a lot quicker. You know, in a way, since they haven't truly been that much of a threat, I'm actually a little bit grateful for them. Because I'm gonna put, well, I'm not gonna put HHG back on her because she isn't operating anything. And I'm aware she's not operating anything. I think there's more value in having her in that room. Although, there might actually be more value in her powering up the party here. And just for shits and giggles, I'm going to have him come back here and repair this stuff. Because my OCD finds it mildly bothersome to have everything at such low health. There. Good. Yes. And last one. Good. And return here. Could give two shits about this artifact. In fact, when it goes down, I'll be able to build something on top of it. Don't know that I will, because I've spent so much industry on this floor, but... Finally found the exit. So I'm gonna go like that. Should be about right, actually. So you can go here. And then everybody else can go to here, because I think that's where most of our resistance is going to come into play. Well, just did it. Yeah, I should have checked the bonus. It's funny though, because the tactical module doesn't even list there as being a bonus for it being operated. See, it doesn't say anything about being operated. Everything else does. I think that must have just been an oversight on their part. But, yeah. Why? Oh, we're still waiting on Gork, that's right. Where the hell are they going? Well, apparently my other structures served as bait. Now this should satisfy... Or maybe I have to complete 24. Trying to... There's no pop-up yet. It's making me nervous. There it is! Ooh, and I unlocked the sanitary pod. I thought I had to do both. So I just got the achievement Endless Mining. I'm considering ending this particular run here, because I want to do things with other runs. I think, however, what I will do is simply complete this floor in honor of this particular run and then call it. Once again, rushing for the exit as soon as we find it. Let's go. Oh, that's a gorgeous room right there. And it's self-powered. Neurostun. We'll get that in place because I don't know if I'll actually need to make it a choke point. Thanks, and thanks for all your help, Band for Life. It would have been a lot harder without you. We did it, Reddit. Hey, there's the exit! Game decided to go fucking easy on me, I see. Let's emergency generator this. Leave him there, and then with Sarah grabbing this, no monsters aside from here should spawn on our path. So... Oh, I was mistaken. Alright everyone, let's get out of here. Come on, Gork. There we go. I can't believe the exit was so fucking close. Clearly this is a sign that this run needs to end. So, let's bid a fond adieu to our heroes and this crazy messed up team that I chose and move on to a new challenge. And actually, let me also take a quick second, see what time it is. Okay, good. That has been amazing. Quite a bit of fun. It was actually a teeny bit tedious, though. I mean, the only thing I didn't not enjoy myself, but I think it's satisfying that these runs end, because they take 2 hours, at least when I'm playing through them, to complete. Now, I'm not speed running them or anything. I'm trying to min-max everything out of them. So anyways. The sanitary pod. I think... Oh, this is hard mode automatically. Which is interesting, because I thought it unlocked hard mode. And there's the drill pod, which we just did. Monsters react. Heal heroes more expensive. I don't want to start on this. I think I'm going to build up to this. I'm going to do a lot of other things before I start on that. Have I won with the infirmary pod? That might be the next thing to do. Unless, of course, 1 hour of streaming and you've done it. Now let's see what the new pod is. Yeah, I haven't done it with the infirmary pod. I actually rather dislike this one because most of the in-game items are replaced with drugs. And if it gives you 4 wit, it'll take away like 4 attack. Like everything that it gives you, it takes away an equal amount from some other stat, which really, literally is min-maxing. You maximize your attack, you minimize speed, or whatever the other stat is. And I didn't really care for that in the slightest. So I think what I want to say is it's between the infirmary pod, in terms of our next run, and the library pod. And the reason I even want to do the library pod, everything's going to be done in too easy to start. The reason I even want to consider the library pod is because now that I know heroes can't carry weapons, I thought that just meant that you didn't start with them or something. They don't even show up in the rotation. So knowing that, if I did Golgi and Mitzi, neither of these characters can use weapons anyways, and so as a result their attack is naturally high, and I think that they'll have a much better chance of getting through this. And then any other characters that come along and assist them are icing on the cake. So if you guys have any opinions on the matter, go ahead and throw it out there. I want to do this one after I do both the library and the infirmary pod. This one is a little bit harder, actually, in my opinion. I've run it, I want to say 2 times, and had some difficulty with it, but maybe it's also a matter of having all the heroes unlocked, because I unlocked this one really early, and so I didn't have as much selection back then. So I'm not seeing any particular comments, so I'm not going to keep you guys waiting any longer. I'm just going to go for the library pod, and let's get started. Without, one of the other things that I should actually point out, having run this particular pod before, so not only does it prevent you from using any weapons, it actually prevents, lessens overall DPS out of characters, which is quite rough, I assure you. I'm going to put Operation on her because her DPS is like 2 points lower than Golgi, and I feel like their starting DPS is actually lower than it would be on any other run. And maybe I'll prove that at some other point, but I don't particularly care at this moment. And this is actually kind of annoying because I could have sworn that Mitzi started with 2 devices just like Golgi, which means what? Our attack cooldown is 1.5, so I would have really liked that to disappear. And I would have liked to be able to have like a thing or something here so that I could reduce it further, but that's not possible. We'll start out with our industry generator. With the bonus dust at hand, let's just go this way, because generally speaking, these things don't go off that far. Wait, we start with the Kip Cannon? Holy shit, we do. Yeah, I think I will take tier 2 right away. What I was going to say is that these don't tend to go on that far, just as this did not. And in fact, that's the end of it, and we have enough dust to power up the next room beyond it. We'll throw down another industry generator. And it is so funny to have these things have such little return on investment, since I've had tier 4 modules for floors and floors and floors on the drill run. Now the guard uniform decreases speed by 1. So I'm gonna put it on Mitzi, because her speed is already so low. Yeah, that room is now powered. Okay. We'll throw down a science creator, because science is created at such a low rate here anyways. So we have Tesla module and Kip Cannon, which is kind of a shame. At least on the earlier sections, the prisoner prod is such a low investment that, you know, it kind of is inconsequential on these earlier floors. I mean, with just 2 modules, I've already got myself up to 14 generation per room, so... Well, despite the fact that I feel like their DPS is overall kind of low, it is nice that they're just kind of plowing through these monsters for the most part. I mean, I know it's the first floor and all, but I thought it was going to take longer. Neither of them even have skills yet. Now, with Golgi's especially low hit points, literally half of Mitzi, I believe she gets Skulker as she levels up. And so... that's gonna be... I'm so tired. That's gonna be a huge benefit later on, because I do not want monsters attacking her. Okay. And actually, this brings up an interesting point. I think I want to get an early tear gas module. Normally I would be a lot more concerned with getting major modules in place, especially food, but 8 really isn't that bad to start out with, and just having even tier 1 of that is dividing defense by 2. So with such low attack, it's a pretty crucial get for me to have. Oh, power that up, and then move you to here. And then we'll check out the store again, because I wasn't paying attention. There we go. Attack power 2.5? That's pathetic. That said, I think 9 is actually not a bad price for that prisoner's uniform. I feel a little dumb because I feel like prisoner uniforms are so common that you might be able to just find them anywhere. And that perhaps it might not have been a good investment on my part. Well, there's the exit. That's hardly a surprise. Small floor, first floor. And that's the last door, which means we get our tear gas. That's good. I was afraid they were going to attack him for a second. Not that it dreadfully matters, but... heal her up and move her out of this room. Yeah, those low hit points. Yeah, I think that's appropriate. It's okay to not have 100 at the end of the first floor. And since we don't have a food module, it's not going to come up for the next one either. Interestingly enough, this did not rotate very much. Let's leave Mitzi here. And Golgi is far faster than her anyway, so we'll have her run all the way back here and get the crystal. And the reason I placed Mitzi in this room instead of this one is she's pretty damn slow in the first place. And so having her here means that pushing her up just north one room, like right about now, is not gonna take as long as if I had her 2 rooms south, because then we might have a situation where Golgi was waiting in this room and doesn't have the hit points to take the beating while she's waiting for Mitzi. I'm sorry, that is a fascinating statement. I haven't had this much fun in an elevator since that pallet of lubricant. Pallet of lubricant. Okay. That must have been a furious masturbation session, I'm sure. Okay, so I think it's pretty clear that we aren't really that far into this. There's not much I can say about what we need. What I most want at this particular point, of course, is going to be more food, more food, more food. I want to get our heroes leveled up. I think it's a lot more important in this particular run. It's also very important because Golgi has so few hit points in the first place. And in fact, it may end up giving her things that decrease speed, and increase hit points, and even things that may even increase her attack cooldown, simply because I think it's that important that she have additional hit points. Now if she gets Skulker, I'm going to throw all that shit out the window and I'm going to move on with my life, but until then, okay, that's fine. And it's self-powered, that's even better. That's a Stele. Well, I wanted her to not be noticed by monsters, so that, half my wish came true right there. That actually isn't too bad. We should be able to get to 46 if we can just get access to any of these major slots. I think it won't be so bad. And that Stele is gonna. Oh, apparently it's gonna bust right now. I thought that they took like 5 doors to break, but I'm clearly mistaken. Or maybe it varies depending on the Stele and depending on the floor. So now we've got that science module in place. Trying to think. if I want to try going north here and hoping it goes on away. No, I think the best thing to do is keep, well, I guess going north. There's the exit. Now, unlike those drill runs, there is no particular reason for us to get the hell out of here. And this required 46. We have so much dust left over that we can easily power the first room of one of these other wings. Hey! Ooh! Ooh, this is actually quite good. I remember Josh giving a bonus to science at some point along the way, and he's not my favorite character, but he can operate and yeah, industry generator. So that's all of our science, but that's fine because we haven't built a single kip can in this run. So I'm not too broken up about that. And at this point in the game, let's be honest, it's going to take me a while to generate the additional resources science-wise. Oops, there we go. Now, I think I'd like to put a second industry generator here and a second science creator here, and then I don't plan to build anything with the possible exception of minor modules for the rest of the floor. Normally I'm really concerned about powering up this room, but considering the fact... Okay, this gave us the dust. Let's send Josh back here. Oh wow, his DPS is the lowest of anybody's. Let's send Golgi back here, because she has a pretty decent attack rate. With an attack cooldown of 1, let's build like 2 of those and see how they pan out for us. And we'll have Golgi do the exploration. She'll be our scout. Good. Food replicators in the mix. No, Tear Gas 2 is fine, but food replicators are a little more important at this point. We don't have any space to build it on this floor, nor do I expect this floor to be so long that it would be particularly valuable to do so. I just have to make certain... Yeah, that actually did it. To remember to go back there and research it, but that should not be a problem now, as... And I thought 2 Tesla modules weren't going to do a damn thing. But that 1 second attack rate is pretty good, considering their power. Truthfully, I think that they're most valuable when it comes to dealing with the red crystals that only attack minor modules, because they target those creatures specifically. And then with the 1 second attack rate, you know, do a pretty decent job at anything else. So Industry Generator 3 will be extremely valuable if we can get it researched, but considering that we haven't got any Science Creator upgrades, I don't foresee having much in the way, much available later on. Science is just chugging along at an incredibly slow rate, and that's in fact the last we can generate for this floor. But at least with the food replicator under our belt, we'll be able to take care of this wave and get the hell out of here with no problem. Now, what we could really use is a Neurostun module to go along with this setup, but it's not going to be too crucial. And actually, I'm just curious. Speed is 28, so he's way, way slower than I thought he was. And actually, given the fact that he's with the party now, I think it's worth it to give him the Tools Belt, because he's going to gain Operation later anyways. So, all in all, we're in a pretty decent position here. We've accumulated a fair bit of food despite not having any food replicators until this point. We can even afford to level someone up here without dipping far below 100. And I think that person is going to be Mitzi. Yeah, I have to say, I think that my choice in teammates is a lot better than the last choice of teammates I had. I chose people who could use weapons, and it was definitely to my detriment last time. It's a mild detriment here that he has a gun, but frankly, since these two are the only people in the game that I remember who don't use weapons, everybody else is gonna be a problem. So anyways, with her at level 3, she finally gets her first skill, which really dramatically increases her, or decreases her attack cooldown. But being unable to move is a slight problem, as I think she attacks at a melee range. Bad company. Heroes and room defense. So she gets some bonuses if she's by herself. Fine. Don't really care. And I'm realizing I should have immediately put an industry generator here. It's a little late for that now. So I missed out on that first little bit. Fine. Well, that was dealt with quite handily. I'm going to work on science creation before food in this one particular instance. Normally, on almost any other run, and you two are going to move up to here now. On almost any other run, I would be much more concerned about food, wanting to keep my hero level high, especially in a situation where leveling is going to be our most dramatic increase in stats, especially when it comes to attack. But in this particular instance, needing to get that Industry 3 generator to keep our industry way up, because if we can just fucking spam Teslas in like every single one of these rooms, we're gonna have no problems with local monsters. That said, food is eventually going to factor into this, as we don't have a lot of research options available, and there hasn't been a single artifact on this floor yet. This is not an unreasonable number of rooms to have opened and not found one, so I'm not especially bothered by it. I'm gonna power that space up. I'll just let her handle it. So only having a DPS of 24 at this stage of the game pretty much, I believe, proves my point about the... Did I misread? Oh yeah, attack range is increased. My mistake. Sorry. Anyways, oh right. This basically proves the point that I was stating in one of the previous streams about how the armory pod actively increases. Oh, that is beautiful. Do we actually have? We do not. Thought we had every single module type represented. If I can get food down, it will only be an increase of 3. So it'll probably go up to like 16, maybe at the minimum. And in fact, since I'm afraid that's going to have such a short lifespan, I totally lost my train of thought trying to deal with these guys. Keep going. There we go. Right, so I wanted to get down a food module here. It is unfortunate because we're exploring in that direction and there's no guarantee that we're going to be able to light anything up down here, so we may end up having to defend this point as well. I don't think any of these monsters will target major modules, so from that perspective it's probably not too bad. We found our artifact, and I think I'm going to take a second, get that underway. Won't make any difference while we're fighting, but it decreases the chance that I will utterly forget about it. Utterly forget about it and move on. And not maximize my research capabilities. Anyways, with nothing attacking major modules on in these particular monster, what is? Look at that. I'm gonna guess that this goes over and either becomes one very large room or extends and then extends down, because that is definitely something from a tile in a room that hasn't been lit up yet. I think that's kind of funny. Okay. So anyways, sorry. With nothing attacking major modules on the way, it looks like it will probably be safe to have these things here undefended, and especially the research, the artifact right here. So let me do all my research. Space is opened up here, so I think I want to create another science creator. And I really want to take the opportunity to level him up. And that is actually unfortunate. He would be most beneficial. His wit is 32. Oh right, because the even the dumbest heroes are improved by the library pod. But 32, that's a very significant bonus. But with heroes doing such a small amount of damage, if I move him... Okay, if I move him to here, and her to here, then we can guard in that fashion. And hopefully... Yeah, see? There's some of the red eyes, in fact. There's some red eyes, there's some red eyes. It is so strange that there's some right here, even though there does not appear to be any particular way to get there. Unless this goes over here and then all the way down here. It is also possible... No, it's not. It's extremely improbable that I would reach all the way like that. That would be almost crazy. There we go. Incidentally, Web Slinger is one of my favorite abilities. It lasts a pretty decent amount of time. 75% speed decrease is no joke, especially when you're dealing with any monster with a melee range. It is the equalizer. And you put that in a room with a Neurostun module, monsters slow to an absolute crawl, and it makes things much, much easier. Now, Orange Jumpsuit is fairly important from the perspective that it gives her a big boost to speed, which she's going to need moving forward. Being able to provide him with such a large bonus to wit... Oh, actually... So let me get this straight. The blue version of this item is equivalent to the common version of this item. That is really something. Like, that is really something. I don't even know what to say. I also am amused that... Okay, so this is wit 4, which means her wit is 2 on a library pod run. So she must have, like, 0 in every other instance. Anyways, so I'm definitely going to do the orange jumpsuit here. Everybody else has some sort of armor, so we'll sell that off. And that's a shame, because that's basically maybe 1 or 2 heroes level up right there. And I do mildly feel bad about it. I'm not gonna cry myself to sleep tonight, though, because the boost to speed is going to be too significant. Ken, my dear boy. Yeah, I will take you along for now. I'm curious. So his DPS is 21, which is just below hers and a bit below hers. It is such a strange sensation to have Gold GP the DPS for the party. Yeah, I'll activate it. The bonus food will help us recuperate some of the losses that we've had already. So now we've got a pretty nice long path back. I'm not feeling pressured to lay down Tesla modules or Kip cannons. I really think that we'll be able to take care of any of these early waves without having to invest any additional resources. Having found the exits is not too bad, but we're going to keep exploring here, and in fact I'm going to move Ken to this point so that he can back up Golgi should any crystals come through, because she is not putting out enough damage to prevent them from moving forward. So anyways, to deal with this first wave, let's get everybody here. Oh, that's embarrassing. And she is front line for some reason. Let's set up Battle Madness, because I have a feeling that that is most of the attacking monsters. They're going to be through here, and if we can take them out a little faster. 39. Ugh. Yeah, I was right about that much at least. So, considering how little damage was dealt right there, first of all, we need to have Golgi get her ass down here and check on some research. I ignored it through much of this floor, and I apparently should not have, because that science creator is fucking vital. Yeah, I agree. I don't know that a better character than Ken will come along. I'm certainly happy to have him with me in the meantime. I want to level someone up. I think I'll do her and him and dip below 100, because I'm almost certain that, and Pickpocket's going to be really valuable, but anyways, I'm almost certain that that door opening up will bring us pretty much to 100. We might even get a little bit over, because there's that door and that door, so I don't feel bad dipping below it. But anyways, with Science Creator 2 underway, that's going to make it much easier to stay above and start being able to use Kip cannons to their actual effectiveness. And we'll get Ken to this point. I think I want to set up a single Kip cannon here. It should be powerful enough that even below the amount of science to make it maximally valuable. And I mean, having Ken there and getting 25 science out of that particular unit, and being able to dip in pretty early. Yeah, that Kip cannon made a huge difference. Sorry, being able to use him early on any given floor to generate that much out of so few modules is going to be quite probably the winning factor of this run. I have a feeling that I think I remember his wit being some of the highest that you could get, and then putting him into the library pod run, I think we couldn't get much luckier, honestly. Now I'm going to reset the research here, which did very little for us. I will, however, start the tear gas module, because I don't anticipate this stuff going on for much longer. This floor is going to end very soon. I'm also going to take a moment to put a Tesla module here, because the faster attack rate is going to help for these crystals, because they're going to become overwhelmed like right about here. And even trying to deal with these ones as these ones are coming in is going to be hard for them without the module. Plus, it is still 11 points of industry that will be generated for the next door opened, which is not bad at all. And so being very, very light on the minor modules is going to be part of my key to victory here. I actually should have left Ken all the way back here. He's pretty quick though, so it won't be too bad. I don't think he approaches Golgi's speed though. Well, he does actually. He does approach it, but he's not quite there. Go, Kip Cannon! Now this could be a... I'm an idiot. And I feel absolutely terrible. Josh is in trouble. I'm really scared. Oh my god. Let's rush Josh all the way to this room and see if we can make use of his DPS here to prevent them from advancing. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I let Mitzi die. She was so important to this run. I'm almost tempted to start over for something like that. We're on floor 3, right? Yeah, but she's the most powerful character that we would be able to have with us on this run. Like, Ken has incredible DPS and barely approached her values. So unless we find somebody else who is the top tier of DPS, like she was, we're going to be in trouble. But I'm going to man up and live with my mistake and move on with my life and this run. So let's power that up and oops. Whoa, whoa, ho, ho. Thank you. Like that. Now, with Mitzi gone, we have a spare guard uniform, so Ken's obviously taking that. The extra hit points won't hurt him. Now, I can give him the scope, which will also provide him with Operate. It might not be a bad idea to have 2 heroes with Operate. I mean, obviously, Josh's bonus is going to be utterly superior to Ken's, but it's all in the dark. That's true. Anyways, so yeah, I think we'll be fine. So what I want to do now is get both of these guys to the exit, and then have Golgi open this door, and then hopefully, when she grabs this, she isn't going to try to go south. Oh, she tries to go south. So that's potentially not good. We'll just have to keep a close eye on it. That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I thought about selling off the guard suit. Guard uniform, but I don't think it's going to turn that much for us in terms of food. So unfortunately we can't level anyone up at the start of the level, as I'm so fond of doing. And that makes me sad. But not as sad as it makes me to lose Mitzi. In fact, not leveling up someone means that if we come across another character early in the floor, we probably won't have to dip below 100 to get them. So we'll start with an industry generator, and I'm just going to have Golgi scout ahead a bit here. We'll move Ken up to this point, because now we're going to plop down a science creator, and he'll operate that. Okay, so access to research early on. Kip Cannon is clearly a superior choice here. It won't even bring us below 100. Now, if I remember, for our current Kip Cannon, its max power is 130, so we have to be a little bit below 130 in order for it to be at max power, and we are, so it is. So I will place a single Kip Cannon here, because it should obliterate pretty much anything coming through here. However, now that I'm thinking about it, that may have been a dumb idea, and I'll explain my reasoning in a second after I consider my options. Okay, she loses a lot more speed by donning a bulletproof vest. I think she's going to depend more on devices to make a difference here. And the kitchen glove is probably just the device to incorporate, because it really does rocket up her DPS. And having the best attack rate in the party at present, she takes the most advantage of things like that. Again, I feel kind of stupid for buying these things because they're so readily available in chests. We haven't really found a lot of chests. I think that the library pod in general reduces the probability of such things showing up. Anyways, the rest of these items are of no consequence. Anyways, where I was going with this is that I was afraid that it was just going to be this room and this room, and then there was going to be like nothing to hold off with that cannon, and there's nothing to hold off with that cannon. Now, really, that's somewhat generous. I am going to level her up right away, which did next to nothing. Wait a minute. Yeah, so her HP regeneration goes up. In exchange, her heal cost is higher. I'm not going to level her up again, though. And I'm also not going to power this room. I'm just curious for a second. She'll gain an active skill. Alright, that's fine. Anyways, I am not powering this up because when I go through here, I'm going to want to have... And actually, before I go through that room, let's move Elise to here. She has a splash damage ability? I've never... Shit. Let's move her to here. I don't think they'll attack... Yeah, good. There we go. Okay. You two can help him out. And we almost don't even need it. Okay, so... We have a major module slot there. Was this researching anything? And if so, I guess it completed? It did. It was the Kip Cannon 3. So now we'll get Tear Gas 3. I mean, if they're just going to throw, you know, those fairly high-level defenses at us early, and it's stuff that we want, I really see no reason not to. So let's get Food Replicator set in here. And I'm going to move him off of Industry and set him to work on the Food Replicator. I'm going to keep Ken in place here. And now, I've got an actual fairly even amount of generation among all of these different resources. So Golgi and Elise will move to here. And will I build another module? It's only 40. I feel like I don't need more industry because... Oh, look at the cute little mouse. Anyways, I feel like I don't need more industry because it's already at 13. It could possibly go for a little more science, since I mostly want to try to stay above 130 for the Kip Cannon. Food is probably a priority, though. But Josh is also about to kick in on food, so it's probably going to go up to like 26 or something like that. So anyways, let's move forward. That is interesting. I look forward to seeing what her passive ability is that gives her splash damage. I've never leveled her up that much. I'm not sure I've won a game with her. I might have. And picked her up at the very end of that game. So food is now at 30. That's fucking awesome. I can't possibly stress how awesome that is more. So I'm going to put in 2 Kip Cannons and 2 Tesla Cannons here. I don't want any risk of things just rushing through there, nor do I want Golgi to really risk her hit points. Gone. Yeah. It's probably a little bit of an overinvestment, but we have a lot of resources for this point of the game. Yep, and we're just going to run right back here. Now that I know there are demon sorcerers into the mix, they're going to be a lot more important to have these particular modules available for. I actually kind of am being greedy now and wishing that Elise's dust cells, like one of the other things that she would get was like placebo, so that I didn't have to worry about Golgi losing a lot of hit points as well. These monsters really don't stand a chance. Now, nobody can repair. I had not considered that. So that divs by 3, but it's fine because I'll just put it on her for a minute and then transfer it back before we open up another door. It's a mildly cheaty face thing to do, but I'm fine with it. It looks unlikely that this arm of the dungeon is going to extend back around to connect up with the southern exit, which is a shame. At this point I will power that up, and then we're going to get Golgi all the way back up here. Now, I think I'm going to take the opportunity to level up Elise, so now she has superior defense, which is great. And then, I can certainly afford to level up more heroes. Since I have a full party, I'm not going to be bringing anybody new into the mix. So he's not going to gain anything, Ken won't gain anything, and Golgi will gain Operate. Which is funny, because she's our scout, so she's never going to be operating. That's not a thing that's going to happen. Although I suppose I could make Ken the scout and transfer the jumpsuit to him, but he would not approach her speed anyways, so... fine. Anyways. Wait. That is unfortunate. Let's go to this one. With those large Goliath crystals wandering around, they'll attack these things if they're powered up. So it's best to do our research out of the way. So at tier 3, their maximum attack power is 160. And their... so I need exactly 160. I could have sworn that tier 2 had science at 0.9, meaning that you required... oh, I guess you would have required more science. I had the math backwards. Okay. No monster generation from that. Let's power that up for the hell of it. No, get the hell out of there. Look at her go. Actually, I should remove power from that. I don't feel like dealing with the repair aspect of things. I am, however, going to move Elise to here. If there are any monsters in the room, they're going to take on Golgi. Tro. Sorry, Tro, you're not coming with us. Move her to here. Now, I don't want to invest as much as I did before. I think what I'm going to do is do 1, 2 of those. And with her and Tro sort of automatically defending this room, I don't feel like I have to worry about it too much. I am going to take the opportunity to conduct a little more research. Neurostun module, finally. So we're on floor 4, and we've got Tear Gas, Neurostun module, and Tier 3 Kip Cannon. And Tier 3 Tear Gas, Tier 3 Kip Cannon, Neurostun. And even a basic level of Autodox shards. We're doing extraordinarily well. The RNG Jesus is on our side tonight. And that is exactly what I was trying to avoid. Shit. It does not look like I would be able to stop him easily. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, this is even worse. Not that Golgi's going to be much help. I mean, I know her DPS is up, but her hit points are so craptacular. Ugh! That is not good. I'm a fucking poet tonight. Alright, let's do a economic consideration here. Wait, is there really a door between these two? Oh, there's no door between these two, that's what it is. Okay. There's only one door left. One door cannot generate 40 additional units of shit. So... 2.88. I just don't know. I think I'm just gonna... The only person who played the game takes a lot of thinking power and not make any major mistakes. Major mistakes. Was that the... Yeah, that's the last one on the floor. I almost started research. I'm not sure if it would let me. It might. Now, considering the fact that there's no additional doors to open up, there's no reason not to pull these guys off their operation duties to here. I think I can also take the opportunity to level him up. Level him up. She can be leveled up as well. And now she can operate. So every single person in our party can operate. There is no problem with that. I mean, the only problem is going to be simply that I'm going to be feeling pressure to try and spread everybody out. Oh, for the love of God, this is horrible. Golgi, do that for me. It's still not going to help. You do that, and you're going to move to here. Alright, you need to move here as well. There we go. That was not pretty. Okay, well, we can remove power from these rooms. Power up this and these two. I mean, that's all we really need to do. So, select all of these people but her. Send them straight there. Golgi, you can grab the crystal. And for a second there, I thought I hadn't selected Tro, but Tro isn't in the party, so... Interesting. Good to know about that research message. So, I've always been, like, very cautious about not doing it, thinking that I was going to, start it and not get any benefit out of it. So we're already on to floor 5, which is pretty quick considering that I'm exploring the maximal extent of every single floor. So fortunately, this next floor will bring us right to the halfway point of this run. I don't remember where the problems with Library Pod really started to kick in for the last run that I did on this particular pod. So let's do a quick... Oh, there's Toxic Cloud. Never mind, I'm not checking anything from here. So, Industry Generator 3. We're going to leave Nitello behind so that he can operate. And actually, if I'd been smart, I would have waited for the before opening that door. But I am impatient. The hit point maximum is something you don't want to mess with as a general rule. I'm gonna put a food replicator here. Now, who's better at wit? Ken. So Elise is gonna run with Golgi, and they're gonna go forward. So now we're starting off with an early 30 industry and 16 food. I may actually want to take the opportunity to reverse that with an industry generator at tier 3 anyways. It hardly is befitting to have so much industry. We're already coming away with, from each floor with a net positive anyways. Okay, oh, minor modules have health regeneration. That's interesting. I'm tempted to put a science creator here, but I'm concerned that there will be monsters that attack major modules, those beetle creatures. And I don't want to do it until I know what kind of monsters I'm potentially facing. I'm going to sell the radio. Industry isn't too bad for us to have in the first place. Now, bonus to wit and attack power. He already has the tools belt, which is more wit overall. Although this is wit and health, hit point regeneration. Yes, it may actually be more useful. Oh, but he has to operate because of that object, so it would have to go to her. 6 would be a fairly good increase for her, assuming I can ever use her in that way. And the hit point regeneration is also fairly useful. I'm not going to worry about it. I think I'm going to leave things as they are for now. That's not an artifact, that's a stele. So, keep going, I guess. That's the exit. Shame that we're one dust short. I kind of don't want him to die, but we also haven't researched shop, so nothing I can do for you. Now, this is somewhat of a choke point. If I go up one and down one, and both of those are only 1 room tall, it's quite possible that we could power them from dust that we find behind these doors. And any industry spent here would be a waste. So sure enough, this one is currently there. So I'm going to go like that and power things up. And then we're going to pull back so that we get the bonus damage from Josh here. Okay, so it partly panned out to be true. Now that's a suicide bug. Those guys are going to be some kind of annoyance for us. $319 food already is giving us an opportunity to level up. I kind of want to level up Josh a bit, because I'm not sure what his next skill is going to be. Heroes on the floor gain a bonus to wit. So that's helped us out automatically. I think he's going to gain something. She gains nothing. Golgi gains something. She gains the ability to repair. That's extremely handy. And he also gains the ability to repair. So that was food well spent. And I'm kind of just wishing that I had better food replicators. Oh, Hikensha at level 5. I am very happy with Elise knowing that she's going to eventually do splash damage. I don't have anything against Hikensha, I just don't think this is the right run for her. I'm 90% sure Hikensha is a female. It doesn't matter, especially to me, either way. Now, part of my problem here is Josh is going to need tear gas, neurostun. I don't know about the Autodoc shards, but at least the 2 Kip cannons. This room is so large that with the neurostun module slowing everything down, the Kip cannon should have ample time to charge and maybe get off 2 tops.